fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's time to do something I haven't done for a while, and that is the Top 20 for 2020. Yes! Now, the Top 20 for 2020 was created by my good friends Jill the Horror Man and Jason from Horrific Nightmares JM. They basically will pull out a list, and we have to create a Top 20 for that particular subject. And the latest subject, which will actually end tonight, is one of my favorite of horror films, creature features. Yes. So my list is going to be pretty interesting. I actually take a look at some of the other people's top 20 for 2020 creature features, and they did not include one of my favorite creature feature horror films. But mine will include some old school horror creature figures, because since I grew up watching old school horror, some of them are some of my favorite creature feature horror films. But enough about that. Let's get on with my top 20 for 2020 creature feature horror films. So coming in at number 20 is Tarantula. Yes, Tarantula is a 1955 old school creature feature horror film about a gigantic tarantula that goes on a rampage somewhere in the Midwest America. I actually did a podcast with my good friend Mark the Movie Man. We talked about this film, and I remember it. It's still fun to watch back then when I first watched it when I was growing up. And that's number 20, Tarantula. Coming in at number 19, The Valley of Gwangi. Yes, this 1969 old school horror feature was made. The stop motion practical effects by stop motion legend Ray Harryhausen. Yes, always loved his work, and this one was great, where we have dinosaurs in a Western film. Combination of Western and special effect dinosaurs. So coming in at number 19 is The Valley of Gwangi. Coming in at number 18, another old school horror picture from 1957, The Deadly Mantis. This picture, instead of a tarantula, you have a praying mantis that wreaks havoc in I believe it's some city, American city. Obviously some radiation, because this was back during the 50s, and we had all that nuclear crap going on with the Cold War. And so films from this time period always had these big, gigantic monster pictures, and this was one of them. So coming at number 18 is The Deadly Mantis. Coming at number 17, another one of my favorite old school monster pictures, The Giant Gila Monster. Yes, this 1958 sci-fi horror picture had a giant Gila monster in it. And me and my brother, we used to love this one, because we always used to imitate the giant Gila monster. And we pretend we were smashing it, because obviously they used this little small, obviously Gila monster that's regular size, but made it look big, and it would take his hand and smash it down on something. So coming in at number 17, The Giant Gila Monster. Coming in at number 16, how can you not have this on this list? Universal Monsters Creature from the Black Lagoon from 1954. You got to have this on this list if you're talking about creature features. So coming at number 16, Universal Monsters Creature from the Black Lagoon. So now let's get on to some more modern creature features. And coming at number 15 from 2008, we have Splinter. Now this was an interesting creature feature, because this was some type of parasitic creature that if you get infected, these huge splits would pop up and take over you. And there's this one scene where the creature attacks this sheriff and literally rips her in half. Very good. If you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. So coming at number 15, Splinter from 2008. Coming at number 14, it's time to go for the alligators, and this one is Primeval from 2007. Now, there were a couple of alligator horror pictures that were enormous in size. A lot of people sometimes don't put them as creature features. I know Brad, Bronco Juggler, he did not add this on his list, but I'm going to put them on there because these are enormous sized alligators. And this stars Dominic Purcell from Legends of Tomorrow and Prison Break. He and I think is Brooke Logan. I think they're in this picture where they go into the African jungle and they have to deal with this enormous size alligator. And it's a pretty good one, but not as better as the one that's coming up this one. So coming in number 14, 2007's Primeval. Coming at number 13, we have another alligator, and this is Rogue from also 2007. This one actually stars Rhoda Mitchell in the Australian outback, where her and a bunch of people get stuck in a tour guide and the outbacks of Australia, where they are attacked by this enormous crocodile. And to me, that crocodile is also enormous in size. And it was good practical effects, good CGI effects with the crocodile too. So if you haven't seen Rogue or Primeval, definitely check them out. So coming in at number 13, we have Rogue. Coming in at number 12, we have another one of these famous creature features, and that is Tremors from 1990. Now I remember I actually went to the drive-ins back with my friends, and this was when, obviously, way when you can actually go to one of those neighborhood movie theaters before the multiplex sold up, and I actually saw this in the theater and only paid $1 to go see it. Yes, we have Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward. They were very great in this film. They reminded me about all the monster movies that I saw back in the 50s. Great practical effects with the graboids, and how they use practical effects in combination with CGI, some CGI effects, but great practical effects, great moments. Loved it. Some of the series has gotten a little bit ridiculous as the movies continue, but always love Tremors. So coming in number 12 is Tremors. Coming in at number 11, and I know a lot of people have not heard this one, but this is called Prey in 2007. I believe Bridget Moynahan stars in this one as this picture as a woman who decides to take her 2 stepchildren in the African outback. They go on this safari. Unfortunately, they are attacked by ravenous lions who are starving. And you know, lions, they get hungry. They don't care. They want to eat. They will attack you. I thought it was a pretty interesting setup. I like how this was set up. I like her performance in this film. I like the 2 kids. I believe one of them was Schroeder. I can't remember his first name. I think it's his daughter that stars in this one as well. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. Coming at number 11 is Prey. Coming at number 10, yes, I had to include this one. It is 1997's Anaconda. Yes. J-Lo is in this one, and also Ice Cube is in this one, along with John Voight, and he plays the bad guy trying to find this huge anaconda, and we get some great practical effects along with some good CGI effects with the big anaconda. And there's a nice scene at the end of the film where we actually see how an anaconda swallows a whole man whole. So coming in number 10, Anaconda. Coming in at number 9, another one of these creature features that doesn't get mentioned a lot on some of these lists, and that's The Relic. Come on, guys, The Relic is one of the best creature feature films that I saw. Yeah, man, you got the Cathoga, you got Tom Sizemore. Actually, he's pretty good in this one, and when he was actually still a pretty good character. After you got Penelope Ann Miller, she's pretty good in this one. I love Stan Winston did the great practical effects with the monster. The monster looks brilliant. And you got all these nice severed heads, and the practical effects are amazing. Such an amazing monster picture. If you have not seen it, please check it out. Coming in number 9 is The Relic. Coming at number 8, 2007's The Mist. You cannot have a creature feature film without The Mist. Based on Stephen King's short story, these town gets developed into this huge mist, and inside these mist, there are creatures, and they are deadly as hell. But obviously, if you have not seen The Mist, it is the last 5 minutes of the film that really makes this movie stand out as most. So if you haven't seen it, you're in yourself for a treat. So coming at number 8 is The Mist. Coming at number 7, one of the few remakes that I have on this list, and that is 1998's The Blob. Yes, The Blob from the remake from the 1950 film of The Blob. This one actually is pretty good. I mean, the practical effects of The Blob itself is fantastic, along with the practical effects that they have when the Blob actually absorbs you. I thought it was good. I thought Kevin Dillon did a great job as the lead character. And again, it still holds up today, just like another film that's on this list. So coming at number 7 is The Blob. Coming at number 6, 2018 is one of my favorite horror films, A Quiet Place. Yes, perhaps one of the most influential films. I'll get that word right. Films that came out during 2018. Very Emily Blunt and John Krasinski did a fantastic job, and I can't wait for the sequel to finally come out next year. It was supposed to come out this year, but couldn't due to the COVID-19. But if you haven't seen it, please watch it out. Those monsters are fantastic. So coming in at number 6 is A Quiet Place. And now we're down to my top 5. Now, top 5, this fifth one, I actually had some trouble trying to pick which version of The Fly should I put on here. Should I put on the 1986 version with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, or the original one that starred Vincent Price? Because I'm more into the original than the remake. Not saying that the remake is good, it wasn't good. I love the remake, but I'm more into The Fly, mainly because I saw that first, and I cannot get over the last part. Help me! Help me! I can't help it. I love that part. But I'm going to go on ahead and stick with the remake because of the great practical effects. And of course, along with Jeff Goldblum's, his portrayal of Seth Brundle, when we see him struggling with his transformation into the Fly, you feel sorry for him, especially at the end of the film. But again, with the great practical effects, so you have to go with 1986, the remake, The Fly. Coming in at number 4, we have In Space They Can't Hear You Scream, and that's Alien. Yes, you got to have a creature feature film with Alien on this list. Now, I know a lot of people say this is more sci-fi, and you shouldn't have sci-fi in there, but it's a creature. It's going on my list because this is my list. Yes, Sigourney Weaver. That's when she gets discovered as Ripley. Very isolated, very claustrophobic setting on a spaceship. A creature, you really don't see that much about him until the end of the film. Obviously, the stomach busting out of the William Hurt's stomach. What more can you ask for? So, coming in at number 4 is Alien. Now, I'm probably going to get some flack on this because some people put this at the number 1, but this is my number 3, and that's 1982's John Carpenter's remake of The Thing. Yes, it still holds out today. Obviously, Kurt Russell as McGreedy and the rest of the men at the outpost in the Antarctic when they discover this thing from another world. That's where it was based upon. And the practical effects are just amazing. John Carpenter's music, once again, outstanding. You can't get anything better than The Thing, but this is just on my number 3 list, and that's 1982's The Thing. Coming in at number 2, and a lot of people are probably going to get me for this one because I put this above The Thing, but it is 2005, The Descent. Yeah, I know a lot of people are not going to like I put this on my list, but for me, I love this one, mainly because of the cast. Like in The Thing, we have an all-male cast. In The Descent, we have an all-female cast. And I love the characters, too. I love Natalie Mendoza, who plays one of the main leads in the film. I love her character a lot. I love Sarah McDonald as her character. I love the relationship that all the women have. But it's the creatures, the night creatures in the film that make the film up. I thought the film was decent. I even love the sequel. I would love to see more of The Descent if they're actually going to come up with a third one, and I'd love to see more of this. Or let's see them actually try to make an American version of this movie. But coming in at number 2, and that's 2005, The Descent. So I'm pretty sure everyone's wondering, Monty G, what's your number 1 creature feature horror film? Well, I'm pretty sure some people might have guessed because I've actually said it on other people's film and say, you're not showing this film any love. Where's the love for this film? So, if you haven't guessed it by now, yes, Cloverfield! Where's the love for Cloverfield? This is one of my favorite monster pictures that I've seen. It's also one of my favorite found footage horror pictures. You know, I got the steel box version of this on here right now, so that's why I was waiting for this. I absolutely love this film. It's one of my favorite creature feature horror films, and it's got to be number 1. I just love it. I might watch it tonight just so I can get some, so I can enjoy it again. So, coming in at number 1 is Cloverfield. So there you have it. That's my top 20 for a 2020 creature feature list. What do you think is your creature feature? Do you think that Cloverfield should be on this list, or what do you think should be your top 20 for 20? Obviously, leave your comments down in your comment section below, and tell me what are your favorite creature feature horror films. So there you have it. That's my video for the day, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and like and share. If you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.